Hello, welcome to All In with J&J. I'm Julia Cordova, and my co-host Jay Strizz is celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving today. What in the world? Anyway, I am coming to you live from the Research Trade Network. Today we're going to be talking with David Bell. David is a trader and the author of a macro newsletter. Today's broadcast is brought to you by TradingView, which has built a custom app dedicated to trading event contracts. It's really pretty cool. And this is what we're all using at Place Your Trades. Use the link in the chat to start using the TradingView web app for free, where you can follow along and make your own picks. And then once you sign up, your first pick will be free. So make sure you like and subscribe to our channel and set notifications, ding, so that you never miss our podcast. Thank you. So this is a little different today. I'm by myself, but earlier in the day, Jay called in and David Bell called in. David is also in the UK, so we pre-recorded that interview section. But if you go ahead and sign up for the YouTube channel, I will live chat with you during the interview, and because I come from the future, I already know what happened in the interview. It'll be really cool and entertaining, I think. And the other thing I wanted to mention is, Jay and I debated about how to reward people for signing up, and rather than do a drawing where just like a couple people might win, what we decided to do was that everybody who signs up using the bit.ly all in J&J link today, all you have to do is click the button, sign up for an account. You don't have to spend anything, but sign up for an account, and then afterwards you can join Jay's Discord and DM him, and then Jay and I will do a private chat for every single person that signs up. You can ask us whatever you want. We might not answer, but you can ask us all sorts of interesting questions. So also, I put a poll on Twitter. I'm really impressed with my audience. Of course, the smart people follow me. No, but you guys have gotten it right twice in a row. I really am very impressed. So let's see whether or not you can get it right. Once again, I will place whatever trade you come up with right after the interview. So I'm going to share. I've shared my screen. I'm going to share the interview with you, live chat on the YouTube, and then at the end, I will place your trade. All right, Savannah, go ahead and cut to my screen, please. Excellent.
I don't know why I put up with it. I need to go to like a battered men's shelter. It's fucking terrible.
No.
Good Lord.
You're just talking.
Do you think you might have...
Actually, I'm going to rewind because I realized that it was playing the whole time.
Got David Bell.
Sorry.
Today. David is the author of a newsletter called Macrodesiac. He's a popular personality on Twitter, and he's just a character in general. So thank you so much for joining us, David. I really appreciate it.
David, it's my understanding that people do not celebrate Thanksgiving. Okay? It is Canadian Thanksgiving today. I don't know when the Americans have theirs, but I feel like every day is Thanksgiving in America because that's why they eat so much. What's the deal? You guys don't celebrate Thanksgiving?
No.
Well, it sounds like you guys don't even celebrate proper Thanksgiving either, because don't you guys fast when Americans actually eat the whole country in one day?
No. We celebrate it like Americans, man. It's just pure gluttony and being surrounded by family that doesn't like each other. So it just it all starts off friendly, and then it's just all peak, and then just
downhill.
Way downhill. Oh hell yeah, it's awful.
No, so we've kind of started not celebrating it, but they'll host red cup parties where people just go and get absolutely shit faced after work or something. Because Thanksgiving's sometimes midweek, which is absolutely ridiculous. And so they'll do that. So it's become very Americanized, just as a reason to drink alcohol, pretty much.
I love
which
that.
is fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone always needs an excuse to drink. Do you drink?
No, I haven't drunk in about a year now.
Oh, well done. Well done.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
It's probably the best thing that I've done, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You noticed a big change in the physique?
Yeah, that too. But it's natural tiredness. With alcohol, you just have this bizarre cloud, I find. And then now I'm just tired because I've done shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
After a hard day's work?
I'm over for 2. Yeah, exactly. Whereas I'd wake up very, very tired when I was hungover, and it's just shit anyway.
I've actually never had a hangover. I stopped drinking when I was like 18 years old, man. And when you're 18, you can just,
Wait, what's the drinking age in Canada?
19.
Oh, okay. But you started early, just like you're,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
You're a market prodigy and you're a drinking prodigy. So you already.
Wait, people wait? People don't wait in the United States until they're 21, do they?
I mean, who's watching? No, I mean, I was an exchange student in Germany, and so I lived on a vineyard there, and so I started way early when I was a kid, a teenager.
Oh.
You know what's good is my
in
parents let us have wine growing up when we were at dinner, so we never really wanted anything. You know what I mean?
What's it like across the pond? What's your drinking age?
12. Well, it's not like a legal drinking age, but like,
dude, you're so like 12.
There's some people that I know that would start at like 13, 14. Like, it's insane.
That's crazy.
It's what it is, I guess.
That can't be good for the British.
Yeah, the UK is not good for it. You've got a really bad culture of drinking over it.
So David, what got you into looking at the macro aspect of things? And I know you're not just one of these. I know there's a few people on Twitter, they're macro guys. They're but you know what? I'm not convinced they actually trade anything. I'm just convinced that they like to look right a lot. But I mean, I know that you trade. I've seen your conversations with people. I understand that you're a real guy, which is really one of the reasons we wanted you on here. So, but what got you into that in the first place? And tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, what first got me into markets was a YouTube ad. When I was studying economics at A level, you're Googling interest rates, you're Googling stock market, all of this kind of stuff. And you're hit with a broker's advert for $10,000 free money. You run it up to $1 million in the first 2 days, and then you put in your first bit of real money and you lose it all in about the same time. And then I went to university. Was looking at the economic theory side of things, and it was all just bollocks, because what I was seeing in the market was that what you were being taught wasn't actually occurring. Like, for example, QE wasn't leading to massive inflation, like a lot of my lecturers would say. That's always the one key thing that sticks out in my head, actually. And it was just like a constant barrage of, okay, economic theory doesn't really work. So how does this big thing called the market, that's made up of so many different people, entities, algorithms, how does it actually work? And from then it's just been a constant kind of desire to find out more. It's like a craving. But I've kind of developed my view purely through prioritizing, almost like in a pyramid. Okay, what is the most important, and what is everyone talking about that doesn't seem that important to me? And what can I take from what they're talking about, and try and find some reasoning behind why certain market participants would think this and whatever. But yeah, it's a constantly evolving thing, trying to understand what's going on. And at the end of the day, all we're doing is providing our best guess. As you say, there's lots of macro talking heads out there, but I find that they talk about stuff just to make themselves sound important. At the end of the day,
exactly.
It's a load of bollocks. Like, oh yeah, this fucking real rate, if this goes up here, then stocks are going to go here. And it's like, fuck me, how do you know that? You don't know that. You know what I mean?
Well, in addition to that, they use a lot of sarcasm, which makes them appear as if they were correct before, but they never actually said that opinion out loud. They'll say things like, oh, well, gold bugs really learned today that wasn't the right thing to do, or something like that. But then if you look through their history, they've never actually said, oh, you know what, from a macro perspective, my opinion is it does X, Y, or Z. They'll just use sarcasm that makes them appear as if they had been right before. It's like trickery, but you don't do that.
Yeah.
That's why I like you. You're you put your opinion out there. You you debate with people. I like.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think part of Macrodesiac as well. People get newsletter writers and whatever. Look, I know that trading can be, there is absolute left tail risk in trading. I don't give a fuck if I am hedging my own income by helping others at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do know.
I've got a family at the end of the day. I don't care. I'm doing this for me. I haven't got an ego to say, oh yeah, all of my income comes from trading. I'm the best trader ever. Do you know what I mean? So I don't give a fuck what people say if they about newsletter writers, whatever. Of course, there's some that are absolutely shit. But yeah, you know, and I think that one of the best things with Macrodesiac is that when people actually pay you, you're forced to put your best foot forward with your, you know, best research.
Hold you accountable.
You must, absolutely must formulate the best ideas because people will hold you accountable.
And you want people to be successful, right? Because the more successful people you have, then you can grow together. And
you got a vested interest in their success, right? It's not like you're going to purposely try and lead them astray.
Of course not. You want, I have the same thing when I prepare on the weekends, and I actually think it makes me a better trader too, because I'm forced to write down what my plan is. I can't just wing it, you know. I can't just think to myself, oh, that's too high, I'm going to short it. That's too low, I'm going to buy it. I really have to stick exactly with my plan and my pivots, and it makes me much more disciplined.
Exactly. And I think, you know, I saw the other day, and I'm not going to name names, but someone mentioned an ETF that's listed in London. They said, oh yeah, I bought this, but I checked it out and the volume had traded 109 that day. And I was like, the average volume over the last 30 or 60 days or maybe 90 days was like 416. And I'm like, okay, you're talking about this, but firstly, like, there's massive liquidity risk there. Why are you executing that? And secondly, if that's like your big kind of picture strategy, there's a million better ways to play that. And this guy is like well known. And I'm just thinking to myself, look, if you're going to lead other people into an asset like that is so thin, firstly, you're fucking putting them at risk. But secondly, you're putting your own reputation at risk, which is clearly showing that you're not too clued up about execution. Yeah. So pretty much every single, you know, trade idea that I talk about is through FX, because you've got to limit that kind of risk to people that might be watching what we're talking about. And that's why I talk about FX so much, you know, because you can take a really nice thematic view through FX, you know, on the time frames that I'm looking at things, which is like, you know, a week plus, probably minimum a week plus. But to be fair though, this last week I've had a really good go on cable with the whole, you know, reversion of the mini budget shite that's happened in the UK. So I've been taking like little 50 tick swings and stuff like that, which is really, really nice. But yeah, I think, you know, it's just that kind of accountability that I really like with being forced to write Macrodesiac.
What's your favorite pair to trade?
Stop.
Stop. Probably.
No, get back.
And the reason I say that is basically like watching firstly to China and
Stop it. No.
Risk on and off.
Stop.
You know, you're trading
Go.
You're trading the yen versus one of the higher beta currencies, which is the Aussie dollar. And when China starts to ship better, they start basically importing less from Australia, which weakens the Aussie. And then obviously the yen tends to catch a dip during a risk-off period. We've not really seen that recently, but we have certainly seen the Aussie dollar fall off pretty heavily, right? So yeah, it tends to be that one. But more recently, you know, I've actually focused on European equities more recently, European indices. So the DAX has been a fantastic one since February, because they're obviously like the kind of, how do you put it? Not the absolute certainty that Russia was going to invade, but the fact that they were so close to the border was a massive geopolitical risk. You know, you had Europe raising interest rates, which was one of the biggest pivots globally from a central bank. So that just led me to believe that the DAX was a good sell, and it was from part of the year. Since then, it's just had a, you know, pretty volatile swings, but that first move was unbelievable. So more recently, the DAX has been decent.
I don't think they have event contracts on European markets yet. You trade the S&P and NQ and all that kind of stuff too, right?
Yes, but I tend to find that trading the most competitive market in the world is probably not
not the best thing to do.
my forte.
Oh, you're funny, man.
But that's smart, right? You're going to a place where there's
where the money's easy.
You're the big fish.
Easier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. You're literally trading, and this is why I don't understand people who say they trade, only the ES, because it's like, okay, it's one of the most liquid markets out there, but at the same time, you are up against every major market participant that ever exists. You're literally up against everybody.
It's so often
there's other indices that, like the DAX, for example. DAX is a bastard as well, but it has, I think it's less of a bastard. Let's put it that way. The easiest way to trade the S&P for the last 10 years has been just to buy SPY. Why would you want to do anything else?
Right. No, I mean, I do something similar where I look at a bunch of, actually it's pretty much everything that's on the events contract. So I feel like I'm uniquely qualified to screw up all of these trades. But no, every week, no, it's true. Every week I look at the indices, I look at metals, I look at energy, and that's because it's not because I enjoy doing a lot of work, but it's like you can see on a week-to-week basis what has a higher probability of being successful. So sometimes I have zero idea what's going to happen in one of those particular things, but I have a higher confidence level over on this side because the chart looks better. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's important to keep your options open, but I can understand why people do. I do specialize in these things, but for me, there's 9 of them. I can remember them and I can see them, but I do understand why people want to be expert in something, but you're right. It's a lot. It can be harder, although you get to know it better, I guess. It's like a relationship.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean,
I'm in an abusive relationship with ES. That thing just beats me down every week. It's domestic violence. It's awful. I don't know why I put up with it. I need to go to like a battered men's shelter. It's fucking terrible.
No.
Good Lord.
You're just talking.
Do you think you might have a gambling addiction?
I think I'm a masochist, actually. I think I just like pain. I don't know if I'm addicted to gambling. It's just I'm getting punched in the face by a bunch of people I've never met before.
David, do you think that trading is gambling?
Yeah. Anything that you... And I'll tell you why, but because it depends. If you're looking at it on an individual trade basis, then yeah, it is, because you don't know the outcome of that trade.
Right. Yeah.
If you look at it over 5 years of whether you're profitable or not, and you can nail down why you're profitable, then it's not gambling. If you've got a recurring thing that you kind of know about, then yeah. But I think at the end of the day, it is gambling. In the UK, we've got a product called spread betting, which is tax-free because it's classed as gambling. And
interesting.
Why is gambling tax-free, but then investing and stuff wouldn't be? Can I just ask all the questions on it? It doesn't make sense.
I guess because, well, I don't know. It's a very good loophole.
I might become a professional.
Okay, so you guys have CFDs over there too, right? Do you trade those contracts for difference?
Yeah, and they're taxed.
And they are. Okay.
So you can literally open an account with IG, right? And you can trade FX and CFDs. You can buy stocks in a stocks and shares ISA, all of which you're paying tax on. But then you can also open up a spread betting account and not pay any tax.
Okay.
Interesting.
The difference is that with spread betting, it's purely dealer. The markets are made by dealers, so you're trading against the house basically. The same way that you are with the casino, and then obviously they just hedge out excess risk. But they do that with CFDs and FX.
Yeah.
It's like,
pick your poison, I guess. So hang on.
Well, exactly.
You work at TradingView, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what is it that you do there? I love the product. I think TradingView is phenomenal. I think Julia uses TradingView as like her main farm.
I do. I use various ones, but I started using TradingView. That's my bread and butter.
Pretty decent,
TradingView?
So at TradingView, I was head of growth for the UK, which is effectively sales, managing commercial relationships with brokers and stuff like that. Then more recently, I've moved to market data and compliance. So that basically involves talking with, the stock exchanges, for example, and getting, data established or more data or changing our licensing terms and that kind of thing. Compliance side is basically looking at global regulations, making sure that brokers are able to advertise in certain jurisdictions and stuff like that. And then my bread and butter, which I'm very, very used to, is speaking with firms in the city, getting them on board to TradingView and getting them integrated as brokers who use TradingView as a front end to offer their clients.
Okay. So what's TradingView's consumer base like? Is it mostly institutional investors? Is it mostly retail? Like, what's the whole demographic of it?
All retail, because we only offer data to non-professionals.
Understood.
So that's pretty much, who we are.
So you must have a lot of data about retail traders.
Yeah, we're the largest website in the world.
The largest in the world?
Yeah, by a fair margin now. So
congratulations. Well done, man.
Yeah, I mean, in March 2021, I think we had like 250 million hits in 1 month, which is just insane.
Wow.
That's crazy. So what do you think is the biggest hurdle for retail traders? Like,
in general?
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of that, and do you think that trading will continue to get more popular with everyday people? Do you think that this influx of COVID traders is going to continue to go up and to the right, or do you think that that's kind of dying down with the market and interest rates? I know I'm asking you a bunch of shit here, but I'm really interested in getting your take on basically all of this.
Well, I think the issue with retail traders is undercapitalization. You might have heard about the 100 or so people who made a shit ton of money on Doge and GME, and there's that GME documentary out that I just started watching last night, and he turned $8,000 into I don't know, 2.5 million or something like that.
Wow.
But for every 100 of those, there's 10,000 that lost everything, or lost a ton of money or broke even. So I think always it comes down to undercapitalization, where they're throwing in $1,000. If you probably take the average of the stimulus checks, I don't know how much it was, $2.5 something like that, $2,000. They're getting that free money and opening up an account. And to be fair, that's not enough to trade. On the ES, that would give you, a couple of contracts, for example. I don't even know what the margin limits are on the ES.
On a discount broker, it's 400, I think.
There you go. So it gives you 4 or 5 contracts, but even if you were to use 4 or 5, you're fucked.
Yeah, you liquidated instantly.
So, yeah, exactly. So, I think it's always going to come down to undercapitalization. And I guess, now in the context of higher inflation, maybe real wages not being positive, interest rates going up, costs generally going up, there's going to be far less people that have the capability and financial means just to open up an account or sustain, their existing investing pattern. They might have been throwing, $500 into a robo-advisor or something that would just buy SPY, maybe a couple of other bits, or $1,000 or whatever. So I think that kind of pattern will slow. TradingView is still growing, which is pretty insane.
That's crazy.
I think the reason why is because we don't rely necessarily on flow. So we don't rely on that flow. We are a data business at the end of the day. We provide a great looking front end, and with everything that's going on, people are dying to look at what's going on in markets, right?
People want to understand. I mean, now that things aren't going straight up in one direction, people want to understand, well, how can I get an edge? How do I know when something's going to reverse? Or they want to understand and see for themselves on, visually what's happening. So, and that's really what, I mean, that is really the point of event contracts too, is to get sort of the things that people may not have enough, huge money to trade, to get them interested in that without having the margin and stuff like that. If they feel that they have an edge, it's a good way to, that's what the purpose would be of it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think as well, I'm not too sure about how the events contracts are structured or how they're, the commissions on them or anything like that is, but I guess it works similar to certain option structures, right?
It's basically a call or a put spread.
Collar, yeah. That's what
but it's simple.
So,
yeah, it's simple.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, as an options noob, I'm like spread, strangle, but it, the yes, no, and I understand that. It's like, okay, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So these things are out there. These structures are already out there. And if you can introduce something which doesn't necessarily have the same risks as options, because obviously if you get an option structure wrong, things can go quite hairy. Without those risks, and maybe then eventually be able to lead on the path of understanding the Greeks and things like that, and maybe developing some kind of education around the event contracts that lead on to understand the actual option structures.
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic. People at the end of the day, a lot of kind of financial innovation gets criticized, but people are going to go out and make these mistakes no matter what. They're going to go out, like Europe, for example, the US as well. They limited leverage on FX and CFDs, not so much CFDs in the US because you can't do that, but in Europe they limited leverage to 1 to 20 or 1 to 30. I can't remember which one. So people have now gone offshore to trade at 1 to 500 brokers. They're going to go and take these undue risks anyway. So why not allow them to take the risks, but do it in an environment where you can guide them in the best way on how to take these risks.
This is why all drugs should be legal. The same argument. This is why heroin should be legal, why coke should be legal. I should just be able to go down to the store and buy whatever I want. Give me all the testosterone I want. Make me look like you. Give me that good shit, bro. Like, let me get it from a doctor. I don't want to go talk to Joe Schmo on some corner block. Yeah. You're so
I think there are some merits to that as well. But at the same time, we can look at alcohol. I don't drink. I don't think you drink, do you, or do you?
No, I don't. Just water.
No, you don't. There we go. So, alcohol is probably the worst drug out of them all, and that's legal. But it's accepted because, it is legal. Some of the stuff that you hear about alcohol, I probably have a problem with alcohol, and that's why I stopped. It's probably one of the worst drugs out there. Legalize all drugs, I don't know. Probably helps with some of those class A's like heroin and stuff like that. But there's some horror stories even with legal shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think Portugal did that, right? Like all the reservationalized there. I think. Not really sure.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're all responsible for ourselves, right? Because even if something's legal, illegal, there's ways to get everything right. But
no.
That's
I don't want to be responsible for myself. I want to take investment advice from strangers and
it's the
blame
same
it all on them when it goes wrong.
It's the same thing with trading. I even have I'm going to sound like I'm really regimented, and I'm super not. But I do have rules in place. Like I have literally a 1 drink a day, unless it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I can have more than that. Like I am so regimented that way because then I just feel like I'm not going to mess up. I know what I'm doing. Like I don't know. Sometimes I bend the rules, just like trading, but for the most part, I don't know. It's good to have your rules around yourself, but anyway.
Yeah, for me, like if I try and have rules like that, I just break them anyway. So just take it out of my head completely, so I don't even have to have rules. You know what I mean?
I got you.
So how does your trading go? Like, do you have like firm rules for trading, or do you just kind of wing it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how does it work for you?
Do you know what? I talk about this quite a lot, and I call it the plum feeling. I get a feeling in my plums. That's what I say on Twitter. and it's almost like when you've realized something for so long, every time that you've done it, it kind of comes off. It's like your brain has a subconscious thing, and I couldn't necessarily define what it is like in words, but the fact is I get that specific feeling when it happens. I think that is kind of the definition of where I think my edge, if you want to put it like that, like where that is. And the thing with macro as well is that because you're not trading like a systematic type of method, you have to rely on these kind of things. I always start every trade off on super small because I like to say that the market is. I'm trying to let the market massage me, comfort me into thinking that I'm right. You know, I think I mentioned it before. Everything's like our best guess. You know, so I like to allow the market to make me think that I'm absolutely correct, that my guess is right. And then I start, ticking up a little bit. As long as factors are producing in the way that I thought they would, in terms of news, for example, in terms of, how the market moves as well, price action. Those are all very, very, very important as the trade lifetime goes on. And I don't use take profits. I think take profits are the worst invention that has ever been invented by anyone in finance, quite frankly.
Wait, what? You don't take profits?
I don't use take profit orders.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how do you exit a trade?
Yeah, wait, what?
So I exit trades with stops. So I will consistently push a stop up. And then I'll exit the full position once the story of that trade finishes. So once my existing view is now, basically invalidated, if something changes to say, okay, no, now you're wrong, David, that's when I'll get out completely without question. But I don't take profit along the way in terms of, okay, price has gone up, there's 25% off or there's full position off. I will take profit once it comes back against me in little bits, because I don't have enough of an ego to let myself kind of believe that I know that I'm right. I will take what I get. Basically, sure. I'm grateful that the market has moved in my way initially, and I don't know. Once it starts moving against me, I'm not going to take all that up and go straight up. So I'm just like, okay.
Well, I feel this way a little bit.
Let it go. Now it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel this way a little bit too, because kind of when you're taking a take profit, you're basically like a full take profit. You're saying, okay, this trade's done, right? And like you have to be some kind of like a special asshole or narcissist to be like, I know exactly where this like global market is gonna it's no longer going up. Like it's just why? Because I said so. It's like that's really what you're saying. So like I always try and leave some runners because it's like the market's going to do what the market wants to do, whether I think it will or won't, right? So like just kind of ride the wave.
I do the same exact thing. I call it my FOMO scale because, as a new trader, I would close the trade and it would keep doing the thing that I thought it was going to do. But I was so happy I took my 2%. Oh yeah, I could lose 8, but I took 2. No, I mean, if I didn't let it continue going, I would want to get back into it. And I would say something's going up, I would get out, and then it would keep going up and it'd be like, dag nabbit, I should have stayed in. I go in again, right at the freaking top, right? Because, that's when my thing, I try to always leave runners. I do the same thing. But thank you so much for joining us today, David. This was an awesome conversation.
I'm going to miss
worries.
you,
Thank you so much for having me.
Can you come on again at some point later on?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, fantastic.
Do it.
All right.
Just need at least 12 minutes notice.
Fantastic.
Let me
finish
my most recent tweet.
I appreciate it. Okay, bye, David.
Have a good night.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
Yeah.
Hello. I don't know if you can hear me again or not, but you know what? That's the beauty of live YouTubing. So anyway, I placed the poll on Twitter, and everybody voted yes. So, like the amazing trader that I am, I just waited until the market dumped a lot more so that we would get the very best freaking price. Ew, smart like that. Okay, so let's see here. Let's vote on it. Was 36.50. I voted on, let's see, there it is. All right, oops. I don't know why the prices aren't showing up here. Oh, the prices aren't showing up right now on my computer. Of course they're not. But I'm going to place the trade as soon as I get off of here. All right, now, anyway, if you would like to have a private chat with Jay and I, all you have to do is click the BIT and then LY, all in with J&J link there. And as soon as you do that, when you open an account, you can then join the Discord. And from there, you just send a DM to Jay, and Jay will take care of everything. So it'll be fantastic. And so now I am going to go to my thing here. Hold on one second. I forgot how to sign out, guys. Like, this is, we're doing our best. But anyway, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow us. I'm Cordova Trades on Twitter. There's Strizzy J as well. And Place Your Trades on Twitter as well. And if you have a chance, if you want a chance to win our weekly giveaways, go to placeyourtrades.com, sign up for the mailing list, and you'll be all set. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a fantastic week. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.